Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 3 of the Film Canister podcast.
3, yeah.
Now we're seasoned podcasters, so we have this down to a T.
Yeah, we're definitely not still incredibly unorganized.
No, we have a structure now. 3 questions, movie discussion, then 3 more questions.
Oh, right. I forgot about the questions.
Then a movie recommendation. This time it's from Jack. Okay, but before we get into it, we're going to talk about how Jack rated Repo Man a 1/2 star on Letterboxd.
No, I give it a 1. But also, it's something that's going untold here. I'm going to be editing part of this podcast. I have the fucking receipts. Luke bribed or fucking blackmailed me. He didn't bribe me. He blackmailed me. He said he would not keep the Repo Man part of the podcast in if I did not give it a 1 star.
It's from episode 1.
This is from episode 1. He said he wouldn't do it, so I was forced into a corner. I can delete my rating now that the episode is out.
I have a screenshot.
Fuck.
I mean, Luke can always just take down the podcasts from everything.
I'll re-edit it and take out the Repo Man part.
Yeah.
But what happens if I watch Repo Man and then give it like a 1.5?
If you genuinely hate it.
Yeah, I'd like it a little bit more.
Maybe.
Second point of discussion is that today we almost kidnapped Jack.
Oh, yeah. Me and Luke did a little prank. We did a little scare.
This was unfair.
We didn't want him to think he was going to be human trafficked, but
It didn't work. I'll have you know, it didn't work.
We didn't want him to think that, though. All we wanted was to give him cake.
Yeah, we gave him a piece of cake with his name on it.
Because I made a cake, and I decorated it, and it says Jack is smelly. And I made sure to eat around the word Jack on purpose.
Yeah, so we could give him the parts that said Jack.
About 3 p.m. today, I get a phone call. The caller ID is blocked. I pick it up. What I hear is, "Hello, Jack McGrath. We are very big fans. We have left you a present outside your door." And then they said my actual address. Please, the best thing you could do right now is come outside and check. And instantly I go, I'm either about to get kidnapped or Luke and Tegan think they're being really funny right now.
Did you actually think it was me and Luke?
So I just straight up didn't go downstairs.
I did not want that. All I wanted was for you to like think it was funny and then go.
It's so absurd. Why would somebody like kidnap you in that way?
I knew immediately that this was Luke because I'm not going to get fucking kidnapped and none other of my friends would do this bullshit. And I was playing a game with Callum. I didn't want to go downstairs immediately.
But did you eat the cake?
I did, and it was really good. I didn't eat the whole thing, but it's really good. Thank you, Tegan.
I'm not going to get kidnapped is what someone who is about to get kidnapped thinks.
That's only probably like 75% of the time.
The cake is good. It's mean. It's good.
It's good.
Funny.
It's mean.
It's not mean. It's not mean if I think that only the part you gave me exists. Then it just says my name.
Yeah.
Okay. And third point of talk, Manny's viral on TikTok.
Oh shit, yeah.
I don't know if we need to. Is this an important talking
What's
point?
the view count? Tell me. Okay, we'll go over it.
94,000 and counting.
94? It was like 84 like half an hour ago.
It went from like 40 to 70 in 10 minutes.
Jesus.
I made like a TikTok about Life of Pi because it's like the trend of like men only have 4 moods, but then it's just like a bunch of plot points from a book.
And like increasingly more scary.
None of my cooking ones blew up. That was the one that blew up. So
maybe your subsequent cooking ones will blow up now that you've blown up in another department.
Yeah, maybe I'll finally drop my brownie recipe.
Ooh.
New Manny drop.
Okay, should we now back to this film podcast?
Okay. We're pulling the first question. Straight up, what's your favorite movie?
Ooh. Whoa.
This one was bound to happen.
Go first, Jack.
Me? No, this is bad because now right here I have to decide.
Okay, come on. It's not hard.
Do it.
Can I give 2? It's either gonna be Fallen Angels by Wong Kar-wai or Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. But I can't pick. You can't ask me to do that.
You have to pick.
You have to pick.
Talk about both. Be a centrist.
Eternal Sunshine is amazing. It was the first movie I watched that made me go like, oh my god, movies are good. And it holds a really special place in my heart. And then the other one is Fallen Angels because it was also another movie that made me go, oh my god, movies can be good. It's crazy. It's got a really nice green, except it doesn't anymore. I like it a lot. There we go. Manny, your turn.
My favorite, I was thinking it's between one or the other, but I think the only one I can confidently say right now is The Shining by Kubrick.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's very very obvious choice, but it's a classic. Like, again, like with what Jack was saying, it was one of the first movies I watched that just sort of like, it was just like an experience, like that just felt like it was on another level. Like the first movie where I felt like I couldn't breathe throughout the entire thing, feeling like more than just, this is a really pretentious thing to say, but more than just entertainment, you know, like it feels like it can just bring you to another plane, and just everything about it is fucking amazing. Like the music, the fucking like every shot, just like the performances. I don't want to go on fun, but
How does it make you feel that my brother has gone on record on saying that he likes the Shining sequel better than the actual Shining?
I mean, I haven't seen Doctor Sleep, but
You're not missing anything.
I have a feeling it might not be quite on the same level. It's just a hunch.
You guys seen Ready Player One?
No.
They
Yep.
do Going to the Overlook better in Ready Player One than they do in
Really?
in
'Cause
Doctor Sleep.
That scene like hurt. That scene
Yeah,
hurt
it
to
wasn't
watch.
good, but it's also not good in Doctor Sleep.
I have a really shameful confession to make.
Oh no. Oh.
And it is.
Actually, you know what? Luke, cut this out. I'm not gonna say it.
What are you gonna say, Manny? What are you gonna say?
Nothing. Luke, cut this out of the podcast.
No, it doesn't have to go.
Not-
It doesn't have to go in the podcast. Just tell us.
Okay, Luke, if this goes in the podcast, I'm not doing another episode ever.
Okay, I'm not gonna put it in.
There's a lot of pressure.
I have
What? Why is that bad?
You're so brave, Manny.
Now, what's Luke gonna say?
We don't know.
Okay,
Pretentious or crowd pleaser?
Okay, I'm picking the pretentious movie snob's favorite movie. It's another movie by Kubrick, and it's 2001. 2001 is like incredible. I feel like it's transcendental. It's very existentially terrifying. It's probably my favorite like piece of art ever. It's just so beautiful and like well made. And I don't understand why people say it's boring, because it's really just the most compelling thing I've ever seen.
If a movie is long and slow, people are gonna say it's boring.
Yeah, no matter what, but it's really great. First time I ever saw it was in 70 millimeter in a movie theater. The last 20 minutes, I was just glued to my seat. It was crazy. Like my eyes started watering because I wasn't blinking, because it was so like enveloping in its power.
the last 20 minutes felt like hours, and like watching it in theaters, it felt like a dream. Like I wasn't sure if I was conscious. It was something else.
Tegan, what's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie is Blue Velvet by David Lynch.
Whoa!
Didn't see that one coming.
Wow.
But I'll talk about another movie that I really like because I've talked about that one a lot. I really like Hour of the Wolf by Ingmar Bergman and Inland Empire and Eraserhead. People have told me that they're like scared of my Letterboxd top 4 because it's all
It
really...
looks very intimidating. It's all like black movie posters.
It's 3 Lynch movies and then like a movie that inspired Lynch.
Yeah.
because they're all like surrealist, black and white, or like dark themed like movies.
Am I the only one whose favorite, the only one other than Tegan whose favorite Lynch is also Blue Velvet?
I like Mulholland Drive the most.
Wow,
Oh.
really?
Honestly, after watching Eraserhead recently, that might be above Mulholland.
Oh, get debunked.
That's not what debunked means.
That's you know.
I feel like I'd sooner rewatch Mulholland, but Eraserhead just feels like a more perfect.
I agree. I was
complete
flip-flopping between
experience.
Blue Velvet and Eraserhead for a really long time.
Me
I
too.
just have like
Me too.
an emotional attachment to like Blue Velvet that I don't. I just
Okay.
think Blue Velvet's a masterpiece, you know? It's just
Second
like, it's like there's
question.
constant... I didn't get to talk about my movie.
Sorry, go.
I was going to say that Blue Velvet is kind of like an onion. There is so many layers to unravel. Like, you can look at it through so many different lenses, and it's, like, crazy. Anyways, that's all I have to say.
Second question. In your opinion, what's the most overrated movie of all time?
I'm about to piss off so many people. You guys know what I'm gonna say.
What is it?
Let's hear
The
it.
Dark fucking Night.
Ooh.
Whoa.
It's a good movie.
No, that movie is boring as shit whenever the Joker isn't on screen. Bruce Wayne is not. I just spoiled who Batman is. Oh my god. Bruce Wayne
Whoa.
is not an interesting character. He's not. He's so boring. I don't like that movie. I think it's bad. I don't like Christopher Nolan. Anyway,
My movie is Pickpocket by Robert Bresson. And if you don't know who Robert Bresson is, he's this French filmmaker who makes these really slow movies. And he also doesn't hire real actors. He just gets normal people. And he also tells them to act like this. Like they have no emotion the whole time. And Pickpocket is a black and white movie where basically nothing happens. And a guy picks people's pockets and he has no reaction. He just sits on his bed looking at the money. And then he goes to jail or something. And people are like, it's so good. There's like a video of Paul Schrader being like, I love Pickpocket. Pickpocket's so good. That's how Paul Schrader
Paul Schrader
talks.
can't say anything bad though. It's Paul Schrader.
No.
Yeah, come
he
on.
said something bad there because Pickpocket's not good. And it's like his favorite movie or something.
No,
Pickpocket's like a 2 out of 5.
I'm inclined to believe Paul over you.
Okay, don't watch Pickpocket. It's
My
boring.
most overrated movie is Apocalypse Now.
What? What? That movie is fucking awesome.
I didn't like that movie, like, at all.
That Come and See dethroned that as my favorite war movie. Why didn't you like it? What didn't you like about it?
I don't know. I just did not like it. I just did not vibe with it.
You should give it another try.
I think I won't.
Tegan, my criteria for you should give a movie another rewatch is if you didn't like it, but you have no idea why.
No, I just like didn't like it.
That's when you should like watch a movie again to see how you really feel.
That's why I really need to watch In the Mood for Love again.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Because I don't have any specific gripes. It's just like something about it didn't click, and I feel like it deserves another chance for sure.
Is that your answer, Manny?
No, because
Oh, I would kill you if you said that, Manny. I would straight up murder you.
No,
What's your
I
answer?
think it's kind of a lame answer, but like I'm pretty easy to please. Like there are a few, like if I watch a movie that most people like or that a lot of people recommend, I'm probably gonna like it as well. The only one I can really think of is A Quiet Place, and like
Oh,
Oh,
that
yeah.
is bad.
it's kind of popular to hate in like the film community, I guess, but like it's like the most like popularly acclaimed movie I can think of that. And it's not even like that bad. It's just like and there are just a couple really laughable moments. Can I do a mild spoil? Well, not mild, but spoilers for A Quiet Place. Yeah, so like skip ahead like a minute when John Krasinski screams or like shouts before getting killed. He's like, and then to like get its attention. It's the dumbest fucking thing. And like I laughed out loud watching it at the cottage with my family, and they all like glared at me like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm like, "You can't tell me that wasn't funny. Come on."
When I walked out of the theater, I went, the part where he screams, and I was about to say was so dumb, and Will went, I literally almost cried. And I was like, I'll shut up then.
Yeah.
John needs to stick to comedy. He's a funny man,
Yeah.
but he does not need to be taken
And, like,
seriously.
I can't feel bad for the baby in the beginning just because like
I actually like that scene.
they explicitly took the batteries out and told you to keep it quiet, and you had to fucking put it back in and turn it on again.
He's like
I'm just
4.
Yeah,
Okay,
and he
that's-
has a brain jack. He just does not use it.
I don't know. No, he puts it himself back in. He has to go out of his way to grab it, put it back in,
He's like
and turn
3.
it on.
I like that scene.
I don't care.
That is one of the only scenes in the movie. That happened, and I was like, this might be good. And then it wasn't.
No,
But
that happened, and I was like, come on. I don't feel remotely bad for this kid in this moment.
okay, are we gonna do one more?
Before we do the next question, let me just say, you guys being upset about Tegan's overrated movie choice, it might be a different movie later on in this call. I'll just say that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, ready?
Can I just say right now, Tegan? I have a feeling your opinion is swayed by the fact that a dog died.
No.
No? Okay.
No.
Okay. All right.
Okay, ready?
Third question.
The most offensive movie you've ever seen.
Oh.
Okay, this is offensive in a very different way than I think what it intends, but Matthew Morrison's Grinch, this keeps coming up, but Matthew Morrison's Grinch musical is like deeply spiritually offensive. Like
Throw
to
up the pictures of me
core.
having an emotional breakdown while watching it.
I think my answer is Pocahontas because I think that was such a disgusting representation of what actually happened in that story, as well as white people continuously referring to Native people as Indians was a bit.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
They're romanticizing murder and kidnapping. Like that man actually kidnapped that girl and stole her away from her culture and like away from her tribe. Like that was not like some romantic choice she made. That was like forcefully done. And Disney just romanticized it. They romanticized colonialism and it was really gross.
Okay, my answer's kind of cheating, but I've seen like a good hour of Birth of a Nation and fuck that movie.
I am going to film school, so I probably will have to see it. But if I go my entire life somehow without seeing Birth of a Nation, I'll be very happy. I don't even know if you guys have seen my pick or if any of you have heard of it. It's a movie called Elephant by Gus Van Sant. It's about a school shooting. But the way it films its characters is that none of them have any character. All of them, they do the Robert Bresson thing where they all act like very shittily on purpose. And it's basically just a bunch of people going throughout their normal day and then a school shooting happens. And by making it so that none of the characters like have character, it was trying to say, you know, this could happen to anybody. But I think it's genuinely really fucked up that they did that because by giving them no character, they're like, they don't matter. They're not people. And then that is how school shooters or the characters in this movie like see humans and see the rest of their classmates. So I think it's really fucked up that it portrays all the characters like that and then has a school shooting where like you're seeing the whole movie through the eyes of the shooters. And I think it's really fucked up. I did not enjoy it at all. It made me kind of mad.
And I haven't seen it. I would agree with your statement that that's not cool.
I only see one negative review. Are we done with the questions?
Yeah.
Yes. Manny, maybe you should give us the the name, the director, and the IMDb plot description, because it's your movie.
I'll just describe it. So, Akira is a 1988 animated movie by Katsuhiro Otomo, and it is set in 2019 Neo-Tokyo after the city of Tokyo was completely destroyed in a bombing in World War III, which started in 1984, I believe, and it just follows this kid, Kaneda, who's part of this biker gang. It's just like a lot of civil unrest happening in the city, and just sort of a lot of like crazy science shit's going on, and that's the general idea.
Full spoilers for Akira.
So, everybody, first off, just like general opinions.
I fucking loved it. This is definitely, one of the best animated movies I've ever seen. And it's just like pretty amazing to seeing like how influential this movie was, because I know that this is often like referred to as like a big turning point for Japanese animation, or like a breakthrough moment. The 1980s were just kind of like seen as like the golden age for Japanese animation when it started breaking through, and this was just kind of like the poster child of that in a way. And you can just see its influence in so many things. And there's like a few really clear ones to me, but then there's just like so much more that I wasn't even able to pick up on. It was just like endlessly influential in so many ways.
I thought a very interesting influence on it was I heard that 11 from Stranger Things was influenced by Tetsuo, which I really see with like the psychic powers and also the cape.
Yeah.
I think that happens in Stranger Things too.
Also, obviously, Tetsuo the Iron Man. You can draw like any cyberpunk thing back to this.
This movie was just so endlessly creative and original and fresh in just every aspect of itself that it was the blueprint for so much other shit. It's just amazing. Like, also so much of like Neon Genesis Evangelion was inspired by like how this movie handles like displaying the mind and just sort of portraying like visual images within someone's head. How it shows like a lot of the really kind of trippy, psychedelic, like mind fucking imagery is like, it's such a clear influence on like Evangelion and a lot of like the imagery and just kind of like flashing stuff.
Personally, I'm kind of mixed. I really loved the animation and how like alive it was and detailed, and I loved how much it did to build the city. Like, you really feel like it's alive, and there's so much going on under the scenes that you don't know, because you get little hints of it here and there, like the cult, or not the cult, but the religion dude who like starts worshiping Akira. Like, I loved all that shit. The story after the first act kind of didn't really do it for me. I was really bored by a lot of the third act, because it was kind of just Tetsuo walking around blowing shit up. I don't know, at that point it like stopped developing the city and the world, and that was what made me love it so much at the start. So I wasn't into it so much after the third act, or around the halfway point.
I just sort of see it as like, that was once Tetsuo sort of gets out and starts destroying shit, that's like they've spent this whole time building up the world, and then this is sort of showcasing it just collapsing, just all the destruction that comes with it. So
yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know for me it didn't feel like they needed to build it up anymore. They were just tearing it all down right at the end.
I'm not saying they needed more, but I am saying that's just, it stopped doing what I loved, and it had reasons to stop doing that, but I mean, it doesn't make me happy.
As it built it up, it was sort of showing this like government as very like powerful, and like all the characters are sort of operating underneath the government and trying to like work their way around it. But then once Tetsuo gains control, it's like the government people are all like idiots, and they're just like bumbling around, and then Tetsuo is just really overpowered, and it's like there's no like power relation or stakes, because you just know Tetsuo is gonna win everything.
I thought it was really funny that like in the scene with like the board committee, there's literally like blue-skinned humans that have like psychic powers, and then there are still dudes on the board that were like, we should have used the money on welfare programs. I'm like what the fuck, dude?
My opinion was that I did not like it. I thought it was really nicely, like I thought it was really visually nice. Like the animation was really pretty, but I just like was really bored the whole time, and I just didn't really like it. It's not my thing, but I can still appreciate the like visuals. I just didn't like the story.
That's how it is sometimes.
It's how it be.
I think I'm in that boat, but a little less extreme than you are.
Got a whole range.
I can see what you guys are coming from about the story, but for me, like, the plot is almost kind of secondary to just like the worlds and just the visuals, and like just the visuals were just so like constantly captivating the entire time that like I never felt like I could be bored by anything, because just looking at it and looking at how they made things happen, and like what you were saying about the world and the animation is so fucking detailed. Like the scenes in the crowd where there's just like dozens or like hundreds of people, and there's just so much detail in the background And there's just like just a bunch of small things. Like there's a scene I noticed where it was like kind of like a ground level shot that was sort of zooming in on this guy, but like, you know, a lot of times it would just sort of be like the ground is just kind of like blended in or in the background, but then there was like little bits of rubble that would move past the camera as it was going over the ground, and that's just so much detail you don't see in a lot of other animation, and it was so smooth.
Yeah, there's this scene near the start when Tetsuo steals Kaneda's bike, and then he's getting like beat up by the clown gang or whatever that are chasing him, and then Kaneda comes on another bike to save him, and he's like on the back and he jumps off and then keeps running. The animation there, like I rewatched that clip like 4 times. I fucking loved it so much.
And like apparently the frame count was like between 12 and 24 frames per second, which is like pretty high for animation, I think, in comparison to like other like Japanese animated movies at the time, especially.
That's so many drawings. Oh my god.
You can see like it's like as smooth as butter. Like even in like the first shot where you see the guy walking down into the club, it was like it was just like I immediately noticed that of like seamless everything felt, and just like so it was so clean.
Totoro came out in the 80s, and I think that was only 8 frames a second.
Wow, Jesus. Yeah, Totoro was the same year.
It was so detailed. In a lot of anime, sometimes they get very lazy.
Oh yeah,
there's that classic anime thing where like someone's angry and then they just have like a flashy background behind them and they're just making the same face the whole time. But this movie, like someone's talking and there's like all the parts of their face are like moving constantly, and it's like it felt like they weren't being lazy about it, which I feel like happens a lot. Like I remember watching Pokemon, and like half the time like the mouth movements were just like it opening and closing and the same still frame for like the whole time. I don't know why I'm comparing it to Pokemon, but
Yeah, well, the budget for this movie was 1.1 billion. Well, it says JPY.
Holy shit.
Or no, 25 million US dollars. But like with inflation, that would be like.
You said 1.5 billion. Why did I immediately assume USD instead of yen?
Yeah.
They just dropped $1 billion on it.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I guess, Luke, going off what you were saying, like that is definitely a very, very much a trope, and something like, again, like Evangelion. Like the show had a very limited budget, so there were a lot of like still frames that just stay up on the screen for like 30 seconds at a time and like reusing shots. But this was like the higher budget for like an anime movie really shows, because there was just so much detail in every small aspect of the motion that it just really shone through.
Even in like the backgrounds and shit, like in the opening chase on the highway, like the shots of the city in the background are fucking awesome.
Well, I really like the action, and there's one part in one of the action scenes that I feel like inspired a particular part from Mad Max Fury Road, where a guy jumps off the back of a thing and he lands on another one holding like 2 like spears or something, and that's like exactly something from Mad Max.
I didn't realize
I feel like that might have inspired it, maybe. Tegan does not really like animated movies generally.
Really?
Generally. But Monsters, Inc. and Ratatouille, though.
You're missing out, man. There's so many good animated movies out there.
Literally, we pulled animated movie last time and Tegan was like,
What was I gonna say? Just the world building is so amazing, and how like even in the shots in the beginning where the city's in the background, the way they layer all the buildings just makes it look so huge and like oppressive.
I love like the oppression of everything and how they set up and like display like the civil unrest and like rioting and police brutality and everything. It's just so effective in communicating just like this world is falling apart. There is chaos constantly, and it's just creates that constant like background noise of everything. It really just sets up the scale of everything so well.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think the visuals are by far my favorite aspect of the movie, and just how well it's put together.
Also the fucking music.
Kaneda's theme is fucking awesome.
That song, I've been listening to that song on repeat like for the last few days.
It's also a complete, well, it's not a ripoff, but Uncut Gems fucking completely ripped off that song. There's a scene during the This Is How I Win scene from Uncut Gems, a song that is identical to Kaneda's theme played. Like I put them on a playlist and I shuffled and I closed my eyes and I could not tell which one was playing.
Maybe the Safdies used like temp music from Akira and then got One O Tricks Point Never to just kind of make another version of
Daniel
it.
And like it's such a fucking good song that the temp music in Uncut Gems is still like amazing.
Yeah.
Even though it's just temp music from another movie. And like holy shit, the fucking like human noises in the soundtrack, like, and how they incorporate like breathing and shouting.
I don't think I noticed. No, I'm serious. I don't think I noticed.
I think I actually know what you're talking about.
In the soundtrack to Akira, like there was the fight scene where it was like da da like
I know what you're talking
the
about.
music with like the breathing and shit, and like the teddy bear, like the fucking creepy scene in the hospital. There was like squeaky like human voices. I don't forget what it was, but it was just like these high pitched like hums, and it was just so eerie.
This podcast has been delayed 3 days, so I watched this movie I think over a week ago. So I do not remember that.
Oh really? Wow. There's some movies where like the soundtrack, like I enjoy it when I'm watching the movie, but then nothing particular sticks out. This movie, there's so many just individual moments of the score that are just like immediately after watching it in the movie, I can just remember them so well.
What I remember from this movie is Tetsuo Kanata. It's a lot of that. That happens a lot.
A lot of characters screaming each other's names.
His attacks would have been so much more effective if he just didn't scream Tetsuo's name every time he was about to shoot him.
It's
Like,
true.
he probably would have killed him.
His gun sucked. I'm sorry. He didn't get anything done with
He
that.
didn't even charge
Yeah.
his battery.
One criticism I have is that I think women are portrayed really horribly in this movie.
I agree.
That didn't surprise me though. It's like the 80s.
It's the 80s in Japan, but like still, like, come on, man. Like, the only prominent woman character gets sexually assaulted. None of them really matter. They probably together they have like 8 lines.
And all of them are like flirting with the men.
And all of them are flirting with the men, and they're all damsels in distress that have to be saved at some point.
There's that one scene where they all walk down the stairs and then just like all their girls are just waiting for them and they
Yeah.
all like link up.
Tetsuo's girlfriend at the end shows up literally just to die and in a very upsetting way.
God.
Like, why was she there? She didn't need to be there. It made me a little bit mad.
Yeah, that was definitely something not good about this.
Yeah.
Most of them felt like they weren't characters; they were just like props for the story.
Yeah, which happens a lot in movies when you start to realize it.
like Chris Nolan movies.
oh my god.
happens a lot.
Do not say the words Christopher Nolan around Jack. You'll get an hour-long podcast.
Main character's wife dies, so main character can be sad.
Sorry, which Christopher Nolan movie are you talking about? Which one?
All of them.
All of them? Yeah.
Up.
I feel like it's more tasteful in Up though.
Oh no, don't make me criticize the women in Up. There are none. Fuck. There are none. Anyway, as much as I'm not a huge fan of the story after like the second half, I really loved the final scene. Like how like cosmic it is and like existential. Like what is he introducing himself to? Is it like the universe as a whole, or is it some like council of psychic people?
Yeah.
It was really fucking cool to me.
And I really loved the just like the crazy shit that happens with his body, with like the metal
Yeah.
and then like the expansion
God.
and like the
That scene was like genuinely like disturbing.
Yeah.
The swelling and just like
what kind of disappointed me was in the third act, a lot of Tetsuo's things is that he just blows stuff up. But in the like when you first introduce it, there's some really cool moments with his powers. Like when he's in that hallway and he just like kills all those guys and then the light goes out above him.
Yeah.
That was like crazy. And I wanted more of that kind of thing, but he just started blowing stuff up instead of doing something more interesting like that.
And he didn't fuck with anybody's mind like the kids did with him. I would have liked to see that.
Yeah, that would have been cool. Now, I'll be honest, I had to pull up the Wikipedia plot at one point.
Oh.
Just because this movie drops you in and really doesn't tell you what's going on at all.
I had to pull up the Wikipedia plot multiple times.
They expect you to figure it out. I like that they don't hold your hand, but also I really didn't know what was going on a lot of the time.
I'm gonna be dead honest. I enjoyed the plot more reading it through the Wikipedia description than I did experiencing it while
God.
watching the movie. Because the movie sounds a lot more fast-paced and cool when you're reading it through the Wikipedia fucking thing.
Do we want to give final thoughts on Akira, or what are we thinking?
Final thoughts.
just like what you were saying about the final scene was just felt like mind expanding.
Mhm.
Just so like universal. And to me this movie is just sort of just shows like the limitless potential of what animation can be, and just like you can do fucking anything with it. And this just sort of feels like the peak, just like one of the peaks of animation to me.
Mhm.
The limitless creativity and like just there's no restrictions. Like you can just fucking do whatever you want, and this movie's doing that, and I love it. So I'm gonna give it a strong 9 out of 10, almost a 10, but I think comfortably a 9 right now.
Okay.
Sick.
Just classic Jack opinion. I really, really loved the aesthetics and the colors and the animation and all the things that weren't the main plot. And the main plot disappointed me a little bit. I think I don't do like 0.5s on a 1 to 10 scale because I'm not Luke and Tegan. But I think I'm going to go with like a strong 7.
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna just bounce off what Jack said there. Really, I loved the animation. I loved the world building, and I loved the action.
Just repeating what Jack said.
I'm bouncing off of what Jack said. I think it might have fallen off near the end. I was a bit confused at what was going on for a lot of it. I feel like maybe if I rewatched it with different expectations, I'd like it a bit more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But for now, I'd probably go with like a 7 or a strong 7.
I was bored. I didn't really like it at all. I will never watch it again.
Oh my God. God.
I'm gonna give it like a 2 out of 5.
A 4 out of 10.
Damn.
Jesus.
Wow.
Tegan just hates animated movies.
It's not true. I like some, not all.
Name 3.
Ratatouille, Monsters Inc.
Name 3 that are Pixar. Pixar is cheating.
You're like those guys who are like go up to girls wearing band t-shirts and are like, name 3 of their songs that aren't their hits.
No, but if I was talking about this band and somebody said I hate that album, and then I started talking about a different album, they said I hate that album, and then I said name an album you like.
I think that maybe I like some of the like, if you count claymation as animation, I liked some of those
yeah.
shorts by Jans Fankmeyer, however you say his name. I like some of those.
Is that the dude with the hands?
The clay.
He's cool. That was a good short.
Oh my god, I love James and the Giant Peach, David Lynch's Dumbland series.
Rabbits, Tegan? David Lynch's Rabbits?
Rabbits is not animated.
Rabbits isn't not animated.
It's not?
No. Stage acted.
So, they're in costume? I don't know why. They look like puppets.
They do look like that.
I love every single old Barbie movie.
Okay, Tegan. Old Barbie movies are better than Akira.
We're gonna do a Barbie bracket for the podcast sometime.
Oh, fuck. We would have to watch like 30 movies. There are too many Barbie ones.
The best one
Yeah.
is
No,
the
like, top
Barbie
5
and
or
the dancing princesses.
We should get
Barbie and the what?
we should get Ella on for the Barbie episode. She has tried to get me to watch Barbie and the Diamond Castle
Oh
like
my
40
god,
times.
I want to do it.
How
Wait,
long? Let me search this up on Letterboxd.
Barbie and the Diamond
Barbie.
Castle. It's like a solid 90 minutes.
Barbie.
It's like a
and
solid 90 minutes.
the-
We'll watch we'll watch a little bit of them.
I accidentally searched Narby instead of Barbie, and there's just a review for Barbie and the Nutcracker that says Narby. That's it.
You know which ones are really good? Princess and the Piper, Princess and the 12 Dancing Princesses. That's my favorite one. Fairytopia, Barbie and the Island Princess, Barbie Mariposa, Diamond Castle.
Tegan's on her phone for the entire Akira discussion, but the
Thumbelina.
second it gets to Barbie,
The
she is
Three
woken the
Musketeers.
fuck up.
A
Yeah.
Mermaid Tale, a Fashion Fairy Tale, Fairy Secret, Princess Charms.
I'm just gonna speed up Tegan's audio right now.
Princess and the Pop Star, Pink Shoes, Mariposa and the Fairy Princess, Princess Power. Anyways, we should watch them.
Ready, guys? I'm gonna pull another question. Okay, the question is, what's your biggest comfort movie?
Okay, I have a big answer for this one.
Whoa.
Big fat.
I'm
answer.
dreading this.
So this is a movie that I watched a lot as a kid, but I haven't seen in like probably close to 10 years, and I just rewatched it recently, and it's instantly just like, first off, bring back so many memories, but it's just like a movie where I just feel amazing just throughout the entire thing. Castle in the Sky. Maybe not the best Studio Ghibli, but probably just my favorite on a personal, like, emotional connection level. I just like visually, it's just like my favorite aesthetic in like any movie ever. I love everything about how that movie looks, and just like the environment and like the design and just like the vibe. It's like I got Pinterest after watching that movie just because I wanted to find more shit that looked like it. I don't think I was ever like not in a state of like pure happiness throughout the whole runtime. It's just, God, that movie makes me so happy.
My comfort movie is Blue Velvet, but I'm not gonna talk about Blue Velvet because I love that movie so much. But it's Grease. Grease is my comfort movie because Grease was like my favorite movie as a kid. I have seen that movie more times than I can like ever fathom counting. Like I have that entire movie memorized. That movie is ironically my favorite movie ever. Like I love that movie with my whole heart. That movie is the best, even though it's kind of problematic in the way it's depicting women.
Yeah.
But it's
Hot topic.
Jack, what's yours?
I don't have a comfort movie.
whoa, that's
He's hiding something.
I'm not hiding it. I just like, I don't know. Like, what defines a comfort movie?
You watch it when you're like maybe feeling a bit down, and it like makes you feel better. You know, it's like a bowl of like warm soup, or like a
Ew,
hug,
who would
or a
eat
blanket.
It's a mug of hot chocolate.
Yeah.
I would say Waves if it weren't for the whole first act.
Mhm.
Punch Drunk Love.
That's a good one.
The second half of Waves or Punch Drunk Love. The He Needs Me scene in Punch Drunk Love literally just makes me want to like jump up and down and like sprint around my room and like hug people. I love that scene more than I can talk about.
I wholeheartedly agree.
That is a comforting movie, and
Mhm.
that would be one of mine too. Probably my most comforting movie. It's either Moonrise Kingdom, which is, it has this like nostalgic, warm feeling throughout. Kind of feels like a memory that you had a long time ago. Does that make sense?
I just associate it with you because we watched it early on in our relationship. So I was.
who I associate it with.
Whoa, that's
It's ominous.
weirdly loaded.
It's
My
Ella.
girlfriend's favorite movie.
Yeah.
That was like, it felt like weirdly like ominously loaded.
That was the
Weird.
smug smirk emoji as
Yeah.
a statement. You know, I associate it with.
My other one is Stop Making Sense. the
Yes.
concert movie.
I was waiting.
I thought you
By
were gonna say
Talking
Old
Heads.
Joy.
Old Joy's a good one too.
Yeah.
But that would count as well. I have a huge list of comfort movies.
Don't rate him off.
I won't read them all off, but before trilogy's in there too, as well as some of the Harry Potters. Okay, I got another question. What's the angriest you've been watching a movie?
Instantly funny games.
Yeah, I'd agree.
I had to take breaks. Watching funny games.
No, I did too. I kept yelling, "Who the fuck do you think you are? Why are you speaking to me? Who gave you the right to address me?"
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
just a lot of
It's
anger.
so genius. The movie is designed to make you, the viewer, somehow feel completely helpless. You're not in the movie and you feel helpless.
Yeah. Oh my
I
God.
just kept yelling like, "Why do you keep saying yes to him? Just say no to him. Just like, literally physically hurt him." And I
Yeah.
didn't
The
do
eggs
it.
part.
Yeah. Every time I think about funny
I hate
games,
it.
I mean, funny games is definitely one of them. I think another one more recently is this. I don't know if this is the most, but it's the most recent one that comes to mind is Mangrove.
Yeah, I agree.
Just all the fucking scenes with the fucking judges and the police officers. They're just like so fucking hateable. I was
Yeah.
like punching the air in front of my screen.
Yeah, I was so mad when I was watching that movie.
Okay, mine is probably The Hunt by Thomas Vinterberg.
That's a big one.
In that movie, Mads Mikkelsen, like a little fucking toddler in a kindergarten, accuses him of like molesting her, even though he didn't, and she just made it up. And then his life basically gets like fucked up, and it's really infuriating.
Cool.
The whole like dramatic irony just like done really hard, where the audience knows something that a bunch of the characters don't, and
Yeah.
it's like,
Time to take that off my watch list. So it's not even on in the first place.
watch it, it's good, but it's very infuriating. So we'll do this last one really quickly. Which director prob smells the worst?
Lars von Trier.
Quentin Tarantino. Tarantino, we all know, smells like a greasy, like fried chicken place.
No, Lars von Trier. Anybody who makes Nymphomaniac smells like shit.
Gaspar Noé smells the worst.
He may seems like yeah.
It's Jack's turn to pick a movie. We're not drawing it because there's only one left, so it'd be
I'm
stupid.
excited. No, you should draw it anyway. Dramatic. Let's just pretend we don't know.
Okay.
Tegan just gave me the most
Okay.
disappointed look of all time.
We pulled the name. It's Jack.
Oh! Let's go, baby. That's what I've been waiting for.
Okay, it's his topic. We ready?
Jack is shaking his shirt.
No, that's my fist. I'm excited.
Jack, you are going to be picking a childhood favorite.
Ooh, okay. Ooh, this could take me a little bit. Okay. All right, we're doing the Goonies.
I've actually never seen the Goonies.
I have never seen it.
You've never seen the Goonies? This is a childhood favorite. I think I have it rated 5 stars on Letterboxd. But I haven't seen it in a very, very long time. So I might have done that a little out of pocket, but that's okay.
What's the point? It's a childhood.
All right,
favorite.
yeah.
Childhood favorite. This will be interesting. Are we going to have that much to say about this? I hope.
I mean,
I'll write
we can
notes.
find something.
What is your expectation going to the Goonies?
I don't know that much about it. I just like heard it referenced in like a lot of like 80s media.
Wait, am I the only one that's seen it?
I
I
haven't
think
seen
so.
Oh, shit. Okay. This is going to be cool then.
it. What are you expecting going into it, Jack?
You know what? I think I'm really going to like this again. I think I'm going to have a lot of fun. And it's not going to be like cinematic masterpiece, but it's going to be good.
What are you expecting going into it, Tegan?
I'm expecting Goons.
It's always put right beside what is it? Stand By Me. That's what I always
Yeah.
hear. People are like, Goonies, Stand By Me. That's like the 80s fare. And the It miniseries.
The It miniseries isn't that bad. Everyone needs to stop saying it's.
But Goonies is definitely in that like bracket.
I think It 2017 is better than the It miniseries.
I haven't seen the It miniseries, but I feel like you're right.
Aw.
Okay, thanks for listening to episode 3 of the podcast. Next time we're going to be talking about the Goonies. So if you want to watch along with the podcast, you could totally just go and watch the Goonies.
It's not going to be a hard movie to watch. It's not going to be come and see. It's literally the Goonies.
It's going to be a very easy watch, very pleasant watch.
Yeah.
So I hope you enjoy it. So everyone, have a great day.
Have a
and stay
splendid
safe.
day.
Yeah.
Give us an outro, Tegan.
Ba-doop boop.
She said it. She said the line. She did it.